So, Rich, you're known as an expert, really, someone who's very good at predicting short-term and long-term trends. I noticed on your website it was very interesting. It said that people tend to overestimate the pace of change over the next 2 years, but underestimate the impact of change longer out, like 5 years. So as you look at the construction industry here and around the world, and you look at the trends, what sort of trends do you think we should be thinking about and planning for?
Well, I think the two major trends would be economic growth, both in the United States and in the world. And the other trend to really keep an eye on is the accelerating rate of technology progression. And while technology has not been heretofore a huge driver in the construction industry, my guess is that it is going forward, thanks to the Internet of Things, predictive analytics, artificial intelligence, all of which offers the huge promise of making the construction industry a lot more nimble and bringing greater levels of predictability. But why I think things are accelerating, and from what I hear when I talk to industries of all stripes in all locations around the world, is that there are 5 technologies that are all maturing at the same time. One is cloud computing. Cloud computing offers companies the ability to rent supercomputer power by the minute, by the hour, by the day, so they can get it when they want it, and they can radically reduce their CapEx costs. Internet of Things, this is simply sensors everywhere, tiny little chips with radio components in them. We have 20 billion of them now in the world. There'll be 100 billion by the year 2020. And when you have these kinds of sensors everywhere, you have the ability to collect data about any process imaginable. We have new algorithms that can crunch that data, given with the power of cloud computing and the supercomputer power that it brings. But heretofore, when we've looked at data, we've always used data, sample sets of data. Well, sample sets can have sampling errors, and it takes a while to construct the sample sets. But what if you can analyze the whole pool of data in real time? You have some amazing things. And so machine learning, artificial intelligence, predictive maintenance, all of these offer the promise of really reducing costs in the construction industry. You can drive down your inventory costs. You can get a higher degree of outcomes. You can predict maintenance needs. All of these things, I believe, are going to be pretty transformative to this industry.
I don't know if you are, but I wouldn't be surprised if you were a friend of Elon Musk. Certainly his entrepreneurship journey and disruptive influence, not just on the automotive industry, but on solar. Now he has this boring company to do boring, and I know he has ideas about high-speed trains running underground and things like that. Do you think it's possible that someone like that, or some agent of leadership and change, could come along for the construction industry, which is a $10 trillion industry around the world, and really very much divided geographically, and whether it's infrastructure or process industry? Is it possible that we would see something like that happen, some force for change like Elon Musk has been?
It is possible, but I think the talent in the construction industry, the people who are running these large multi-billion projects, with all the complexities, are extremely capable. And the idea of an outsider coming up and sneaking up on them, when you think about all the regulatory issues and all of the complexities, it's a lot different disrupting the construction industry than it would be disrupting the music industry or my own industry, will those are easily disruptible. Retail is proving to be pretty easily disruptible.
Right.
I don't think that the construction industry will be disruptible so much as it will be that the big firms that utilize these new technologies that I just talked about will find that they have huge advantages in speed, reduction of costs, better outcomes, and that's where you'll see companies putting a distance between themselves and companies that haven't utilized these new technologies so well. But the idea of an Elon Musk coming from the outside, I suppose there are, that's always possible, but I think it's not I think even Elon is finding out disrupting the automobile industry is tough. I think when you look at there are a lot of energy people at this conference. Lithium-ion batteries are progressing at a slower rate than is the cost efficiency of getting shale oil and gas. It would be awfully arrogant of me to say to the construction industry, here's what you should be doing better. But I'll share what I found out in writing a book on corporate culture called The Soft Edge, and then a book on high-performance teams within healthy cultures called Team Genius. When I wrote The Soft Edge, I was looking at companies that have been around for multiple decades and that have been healthy all throughout their history and have survived changes in the economy, changes in technology, changes in the marketplace. And one of my favorite entrepreneurs from the physical world is Fred Smith of FedEx. I mean, you think about a logistically complex company. FedEx has a lot of parallels to the construction industry because there's so many literally moving parts in his case. And I said, what's accounted for FedEx's success? And he got up to his whiteboard in his private office in Memphis, and he drew a triangle. And he said, FedEx is a triangle of equal forces. We have to be great in strategy, we have to be great in execution, and we have to be great in our culture. So when you get to teams, teams are really, what do everyday teams look like? Not big assembly line project teams, but teams that on an everyday basis solve a problem or pursue an opportunity. And it turns out, and various research backs this up, that if you want to be really nimble and you want to cut out the clutter, teams should be quite a bit smaller than you think they are, and they should have a cognitive diversity so that you're seeing things from different perspectives. Small, really small. Jeff Bezos at Amazon calls it the 2-pizza rule. If you need more than 2 pizzas to feed the team, your team is too big. So you're really talking about teams of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for everyday teams. And then within those teams, you want analytical thinkers, intuitive thinkers, you want introverts, extroverts, you want experienced people, and you want people with fresh eyes. Fresh, it's a euphemistic way of saying you want the geezers and you want the millennials, because the experienced people will see all the traps, but the young, enthusiastic people will come up with the technology solutions. They'll see future markets, but they're going to walk into traps. So what a great way to integrate. Sales team, having an introvert and an extrovert. The extrovert likes to kill, likes to close the sale, hunt, the hunter. And the introvert likes to take care of the client, the farmer. And so the sort of diversity of skill sets within a team, I think when people talk about the diversity today, they instantly think of gender diversity, racial and ethnic diversity, and those are important, and I don't want to minimize them. But those are a great gateway to get to actually the really productive kind of diversity, which is thinking style diversity. So if you have thinking style diversity and it's all bound by trust within a culture that knows what it stands for, I think you're 90% of the way there for achieving what Fred Smith has achieved at FedEx.